Om Sri Sai Ram. Hearty welcome to Sri Sathya Sai Loka Gurukulam free online classes in mathematics. Today we are going to start a very interesting and important topic called Introduction to Graphs. Have you heard the word called graph? Yes? Of course, you have heard in your previous classes. It has got a lot of applications. Let us just recall once what all the knowledge we have about graphs. The purpose of the graph is to show numerical facts in visual form so that they can be understood quickly, easily and clearly. So, what does graph do? It gives a clear picture, the visual form, means you can see it. What you are going to see? The numerical fact, say about the marks scored in a test or the cricket runs scored by a batsman, the bowling analysis, the temperatures and so on. We can see in a visual form so that they can be understood quickly. So, by seeing the graph, you can easily make out, is it not, the difference, and you can see it clearly also. The facts and figures can be very well understood by the help of graphs, correct? So, it is a visual form. It is a very interesting one. Let us see some details about that. Before that, we will know some of the important graphs you have already studied. One is called bar graph. What is bar graph? It shows the comparison among categories. It may consist of two or more parallel vertical bars, or you can say rectangles. It may be vertical also, it may be horizontal also. It depends on the two axes. This is called x-axis, this is called y-axis. Here the bar diagram of a boy or a girl who has scored the marks in the first test, second test, third test. And these are the marks. In the first test he has scored about 25, the second test 30, third test 45. So, it is increasing. So, by seeing the graph, we can make out how the progress is taking place. So, it is one of the visual ways of comparing the facts and figures. And one more thing we already studied is what is called as double bar diagram. Double means what? Two bar diagrams together. We already seen in the previous chapter. Here there is a comparative amount of sales of various fruits over 2-day period. Here dark bar diagram shows a Monday and the light one is called as Tuesday. So, Monday and Tuesday, how many fruits are being sold? How many are business people here? I mean to say sons and daughters of business people. Come on, raise your hand. Okay. So, you may have different kinds of business. This is about a business of fruits, fruit stall. So, in a fruit stall, this is the sales of the fruits in kgs, y-axis. In x-axis, names of fruits. Okay. And these are the 2 days business. For example, on Monday about 20 kgs, 17.8 kgs, 17.5 kgs of mango has been sold. And on Tuesday, about 22.5 kgs of mango has been sold. So, there is an increase, correct? Whereas in apple, On Monday it is only 7.5 kgs and on Tuesday it is about 10 kgs. Why so less? Because the cost of apple is more compared to mango and very few people prefer it even though it is nutritious. So whereas oranges are cheap and best, especially summer, very good, containing citric acid. No? So on Monday there were about 27.5 kgs of oranges have been sold. On Tuesday about 35 kgs. Coming to papaya, both Monday and Tuesday it is about 22.5 kgs have been sold. Same, no variation. Whereas banana, there is a decrease. On Monday there was about 37.5 kgs have been sold and on Tuesday it reduced to 27.5 kgs. So this graphs, what is called as double bar diagram, shows the comparative sales. It may not be sales only, it may be production in factories, production of goods in factories, production of or sales of vehicles, scooters, cars and so on. So comparative for 2 successive years, here it is 2 successive days. Are you following? So here the weights are taken in the y-axis and the fruits are taken in the x-axis. So by seeing the picture, we can make out some comparative list. Okay, and the third one is called as pie graph, also called as circle graph. So what does it show? It is used to compare the parts of a whole. This whole circle represents say for example, it is about TV show. In TV, about 50% enjoy, like entertainment, about 25% like sports, like cricket match, football match and so on, and about 15% news they will see, 10% look at the informative things, correct? So this shows the percentage of viewers, how many people will be seeing TV. So that's what you can make out by seeing the sector graph, also called as circle graph, also called as pie chart. So it is also one of the ways or one of the graphs showing the different details. Okay. Now we will see the one more, that is called as histogram. Histogram is also a bar graph that shows data in intervals. So for that we want what is called as class intervals. See here, one is weights in class interval 40 to 45, there are 4%. So it is about 40%, the weights of 40 persons in a locality, in a village is made, and we have to draw histogram on the basis of that. So the weights of the persons having 40 to 45 kgs, there are 4 persons, 45 to 50, 12%, 50 to 55, 13%, 55 to 60, 6 persons, 60 to 65, 5 persons. What are they? They are the weights of people. This is number of people, this is weights of the people. And if you draw the graph, we call it what you get what is called as histogram. It's also bar diagram, but there is a speciality here. It shows data in intervals. This is what is called as class intervals, and it has adjacent bars. So the bars here is not like bar diagram. In bar diagram they are different, separate. Here it is adjacent, attached to each other. Histogram illustrates the distribution of weights. This is one example they are given. There are so many things like that. Here it is about number of persons having the weights. The height of the bar show the frequency of the class interval. So this is called as frequency 4, 12, 13, etc. That can be seen by the height. There is no gap between the bars between the class intervals. So that is the difference between the bar diagram and histogram. Now we will see how it can be drawn. Here you have to take two axes. One is called x-axis. We are showing weight in that. There is nothing but class intervals. So 40 to 45, 45 to 50, 50 to 55, like that. And then number of persons, also called as frequencies, are shown in the y-axis. And then you have to draw the histogram. See, from 40 to 45, there are 4 persons, so draw a line like this. And 45 to 50, there are 12 persons. And then 50 to 55, there are 13 persons. And 55 to 60, there are 6 persons. And 60 to 65, there are 5 persons. And 65 to 70, there are 4 persons. Okay. So like that, you have to draw the histogram. Here, all the bar diagrams are attached to each other. And this shows the frequency. The height of the bar diagram shows the frequency. Now what about this? This is called clink. Clink means, see, from 0 to 40, it is not shown in the axis. Therefore, we show it by a clink. So it is a small zigzag mark to show that from 0 to 40 it is not included. So it is understood. Okay. So this is a fourth type of diagram or graph we already studied in the previous classes. Now coming to today's topic, we have got a very interesting thing here called line graph. What does a line graph show? It shows or displays the data that changes continuously over a period of time. So for example, so changing means what? For example, temperature in a day. Suddenly it may rise to a very high temperature, it may come down. Or BP of a person, or temperature of a person who is sick, is not well. So shall we take one example? For example, here is an hospital. I think all of you heard about, and some of you might have seen it. Sri Sathya Sai Memorial Hospital, Sathya Sai Grama Muddinalli. It is a 150 bedded hospital now. It will be 400 bedded hospital in later. And this is free of cost. The only hospital with all facilities and with all cleanliness, good maintenance. And you may say it is one of the best, it will become one of the best hospital in the world because it is free. And all the people working there are service minded people, doctors, nurses, etc. Here you can see one child who is operated for the cardiac ailment. So Bhagwan Baba has started the hospital for the sake of especially for the children who have got heart diseases. And already about more than 50 children have been operated. They got life. And the program that was arranged for that was called Chiranjeevi Bhava. So here is Sadguru Madhusudan Sai talking to that child who has been operated. And our Srinivas, who is director of the medical, this one is there. No nurse also is looking. And Swami is so compassionate. So now we are coming to the point here. Here is one example where the graph is made use of. I meant to say line graph. So it refers to the changing data with the time. Now let us take one example for that. See here, example, following the following graph. Here is a graph, you can see. What does it show? show the temperature of a patient. So this is the temperature of a patient. What is the healthy person's temperature? Anybody? Yes? Think that all of you are healthy. What is your temperature? It is 37 degree or 98.6 degree Fahrenheit. Or Kelvin, if you say, it is about 310 Kelvin. So here that is called healthy person. But here we are talking about a patient's temperature. That is what they give in a form of a chart. In every patient's bed, they keep on chart showing different aspects. This is about the temperature, variation temperature. In a hospital recorded every hour. So once in every hour, the so-called nurse will come and see the temperature of a patient. So it was recorded that at 9 a.m. it is about 35.5, at 10 a.m. 36, 11 a.m. 39, 12 a.m. 12 p.m. you can say 37.5, and 1 p.m. it is 36.5, 2 p.m. it is 36, 1 p.m. also 36, 36.5, and 2 p.m. also 36.5. At 3 p.m. it is 37. Like that, in a day, these are the different temperatures shown. And here you have to take time in the x-axis and temperature on the y-axis. Here on y-axis 1 centimeter is equal to 1 degree Celsius. In x-axis 1 centimeter is equal to 1 am. 1 hour you can say. So you drawn that, draw a rough figure now, then you can make it neat. Now answer the question. What was the patient's temperature at 1 p.m.? Come on, who will tell? 1 p.m. is here. 1 p.m. is here. Temperature is 36.5. So answer can be at 1 p.m. the temperature, please note down, the temperature of a patient, we call it as any name you can give, of a patient as per the graph you must tell is, see 1 p.m. is here, temperature is here 36.5 degree Celsius. What is Celsius? It is one kind of measuring the temperature, correct? So there are three kinds of measuring temperature. What is temperature? The degree of hotness or coldness of the body. So it is measured in three scales: Celsius scale, Fahrenheit scale, Kelvin scale. Here it is about Celsius only, so let us not worry about other things. When was the patient temperature? 38.5. So 38 is here, 38.5 is here, and the time is 12. At 12 noon. At 12 noon, when you say 12 o'clock, it is neither AM nor PM. Sharp 12. At 12 noon, the patient's temperature was 38.5 degrees Celsius. Are you noting down? Okay. So let us pass on to third question. Understood now? 12 noon is here, 12 noon, 38.5. So here 38, and between that you have 38.5. Noted? Okay. Now we'll pass on to third question. In that, the patient temperature was the same 2 times during the period given. What were the 2 times? So same temperature. What time? 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. At 1 p.m. What is p.m.? Expansion of p.m. Come on. Post meridian. A.m. ante meridian. Post meridian means after 12. p.m. means before 12. Okay. Mornings. So at 1 p.m. the temperature of the patient was the same. What is the same temperature? 36 point at 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. At 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. that is 36.5 degrees Celsius. 36.5 degrees Celsius. So at 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. Don't forget 2 times they are asking. So 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. the temperature of the patients were same. Now next question. What was the temperature at 1:30 p.m.? So here it is 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. That is the answer for that. For those who are not written down. What was the temperature at 1:30 p.m.? 1:30 p.m. 1 is here, 2 is here, 1:30. 1:30 p.m. temperature was 36.5, correct? At 1:30 p.m. the temperature was 36.5. So here, so at 1:30, 1 is here, 2 is here, between that 1:30, it is also 36.5. Now they are asking, how did you arrive at your answer? Means you must give a reason. The reason is, the point between 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. on the x-axis, see, point between 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. on the x-axis is equidistant from the 2 points showing from 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. So equidistance, this distance, this distance here is same on the x-axis. So it will represent 1:30 p.m. So at 1:30, this distance here is equal, correct? Similarly, on the y-axis, the point between 36 and 37 will represent 36.5. So here, this distance, the distance between 36 and 37 is same, that is 36.5. So on the x-axis also the distance is same, and the y-axis also distance is same. That is why we call it as 36.5. Note it down. Okay. So can you see this? Can you see this? Okay. So shall we pass on to next question? So you should note the point that they are equidistant on x-axis also, in y-axis also. That is the answer for that. Coming to the third, last question in that, during which periods did the patient temperature showed an upward trend? So where there is an increase they are asking. First increase is 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. So 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. there is increase. First increase. Come on, next one. 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. there is increase, correct? Then there is a decrease. Don't write decrease. One more is 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. So there is an increase. Followed? Increase means raising in temperature. So in the morning the temperature raised from 35.25 to 36, and then at 10 to 11 it increased from 36 to 39, and evening again from 36.5 to 37, there is an increase. They are asking how there is a, or during which period the patient temperature showed an upward trend, means increase. Noted? Very happy. Now coming to home assignment, the following line graph shows the yearly sales figures for a manufacturing company. You know, in factories they manufacture so many things like soap, soap box, paste, brush, oil and all. So here is a sales figures, that sales in rupees, crores. On y-axis in rupees in crores, and x-axis years 2002 to 2006. What were the sales in 2002 they are asking, and 2006 in crores you must tell the answer. Second, what were the sales in 2003 and 2005. Third one, compute the difference between 2002 to 2006. What is the difference they are asking? In crores you must tell. Okay, that is the home assignment. And next question is, in which year was there the greatest difference between the sales as compared to its previous year? So greatest increase you must tell. Okay, so note down this question. Of course it is in the book also, you can take down afterwards. Now let us see what Bhagwan Baba says. Baba is telling about 3 human values. There are so many human values. Here is one 3 important, 3 H what you call, 3 H V's. One is, one must develop the unity of head, heart and hand. Manasekam, vachasekam, karmanyekam, mahatmanaha. And also in one of the speeches he has told that one should have a head of Shankara, Advaita, and heart of Buddha, compassion, and hand of Janaka, Karma Yoga. Okay, so there should be unity between the head, heart and hand. So that is a message of Bhagwan Baba. And come prepared with the answers. Thank you.